Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here outside the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Friday, February 2nd, 2024. It's a little bit rainy, but we still remain on alert, although it's probably going to be next week, for, yes, Judge Engoron's ruling in the New York State civil case against the Trump organization. Everyone said it was going to be July 31st, including Judge Engoron. The deadline is coming past. People are talking about Monday, but what we can say is that there's a new development. Weisselberg, longtime CFO of the Trump organization, who pled guilty to District Attorney Bragg and served 100 days on Rikers Island, then testified in the state case, largely saying that he wasn't involved in the valuation of the triplex in Trump Tower, contradicted apparently by documents, is now facing more charges from Bragg. Does this mean that Bragg wants him to testify in the criminal case, the hush money, the Stormy Daniels case, the Michael Cohen case? Maybe Michael Cohen not so credible, so they're going to go with Weisselberg. Nobody knows, but they're going after him again, and so we're on it. This Trump docket never ceases. Meanwhile, the Menendez docket is heating up, and this is one we find actually kind of more interesting in the sense that we did a filing. It's in federal court, and we did a filing with Judge Stein early in January. We were the first to do it, seeking to unseal Bob Menendez's motion to dismiss and documents in the vault. And yesterday, Judge Stein ruled and not only unsealed most of the motion to dismiss, but also documents in the vault, which I don't know if it's ever been done before. People never ask for it because they just assume that it's grand jury material or it's not. There's no notice when something goes into the vault, but we get it and some vault material is coming out. It should be in the docket today and we'll be publishing it. So there's that. Now, yesterday we covered in great detail the sentencing of Joshua Schulte. Schulte, who leaked, he was convicted of leaking, so we'll just say it instead of alleged. He leaked Vault 7. He denies it, apparently, or he says he didn't prove it. He gave a 29-minute allocution. I don't know if it helped him. Maybe this actual sentence was already baked in before he did it, but okay, he talked about the conditions in the MDC, and not just generally, but his own conditions are white noise all the time, lights on all the time. He said it's torture. I think you can say that. He can certainly say that. He analogized it to Auschwitz and talked about Nelson Mandela. This turned the judge off, and I think it probably was a bit too far. It's torture, though. It seems like other people said because there's CP, I'll just say it that way, in the case, he gets what he deserves. I don't know. We're a society trying to drive somebody crazy, effectively having done it. May not be the way we want to go. I don't know. And of course, here's the thing. So he cited some UN convention against the space prisoners should have. The UN is an absolute travesty and a joke. Here's what I want to say. Yesterday, who's in charge of the Security Council this month? Amid the carnage in Ukraine and Gaza and elsewhere, it's Guyana. And Guyana won't answer its mail, doesn't have a social media account, and which you could say, like, who cares? But in today's world of diplomacy, it seems pretty remiss. You've got to, if every plumbing store, I'm not just on X, they don't have Instagram, they got nothing. They got nothing, and yet they said, we're going to provide information to the media. Well, how is that going to be? I guess they're going to give it to Xinhua and Al Jazeera, all the guys that were allowed in to ask them softball questions. And here's the killer. There was not a single thing on Ukraine. Well, we'll do a song over the weekend, 102nd week of the war in Ukraine. Antonio Guterres calling Putin Papacito. And I think Guyana will be in there. In any event, the weekend has not yet begun. We're searching down cases today. Inner City Press to be continued.